What's poppin', and welcome back to another episode of Fletcher the Fisherman. And today I'm back in my hometown, Charlotte, North Carolina. I have been on the road a lot this year, fishing all over the place, and I don't even think I've made a video in Charlotte this entire year. So that is about to change today. The game plan for today is to go out and fish some ponds that I've never fished before, try to find some new water, find some new areas to explore. Probably need my keys to open that. But what I was trying to say is that I'm trying to find some new areas around me to fish. So if you live in like the Charlotte area or like an hour from here and you have some cool fishing spots, drop those comments down below. Let me know. I might hit you up. We might be able to go fish and do something. I'm just looking for any opportunity I can to make some more content closer to where I live, because the traveling is becoming a lot. I have hardly been here. I've been in Charlotte like maybe 2 or 3 weeks the entire year. So being able to stay here, fish a little bit more around here, make content for y'all would make my life a lot easier. And hopefully I can make some more content for y'all as well. But the game plan for today is to fish exclusively topwater baits, more specifically the frog and the whopper plopper, two of my favorite topwater baits. But I have no idea what is going to happen at all because I've never fished any of these bodies of water. So I just got to get out there, start tossing my baits, and hopefully find us a nice one. But my hopes are high. I'm feeling good about the conditions right now. There's a pretty good chance that I'm gonna catch at least a decent one. So let's go ahead and grab these keys, fire up the truck, head to the fishing hole, and start fishing. Here goes nothing. Starting out with a little whopper plopper. Gonna get started right here in the shade line on the back side of this pond. Hopefully there's some stuff hanging out. There we go. First cast. First cast. We got a nice one. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys, look at that. Very first cast on the whopper plopper. Let's go. That's a solid like 3-pounder. This is my first time here. That is awesome. Okay, let's go. I mean, you cannot ask for a better fish than that on your first cast at a new pond, having no clue what to throw in here, what works, and just to get some instant success like that on a nice little whopper plopper definitely makes me happy. But I've had this fish out of the water a little bit too long trying to get the camera and stuff set up just because I was not ready to catch one on that first cast. But great little fish. Let's get her back in. Let's get this little gal all revived. I had her out just a little bit longer than I would have liked. But thank you for crushing the whopper plopper. You ate it good too. I mean, you ate it really good. Let's go. All right, there she goes. That's what I'm talking about. While I definitely think this will be the best bank in this little pond, that is a really promising sign because there is 1, 2, 3 ponds up this little strip right here. And this happens to be the smallest one, I'm pretty sure. So just the fact that we got a really nice one right off the back, I'm pretty sure they're probably all connected by some kind of like piping. So all these fish probably move in between all these things. But for us to get one on the first cast, especially one that size, is just incredible. I can't tell y'all how happy that makes me. Let's go ahead and get this little plopper back out there. This thing just always does the trick for me. Ooh, oh, that was a really good bite, guys. That was a really good bite. That was a really good bite. I'm gonna get the frog, throw it back in there, because I don't know if he's gonna hit that whopper plopper. Hold on. That was another like 3 or 4 pounder. You gotta love it. Haven't fished this pond ever. Just found it on Google Maps and just came out here, and I'm already getting some really solid bites. This pond is kind of the juice, I'm not gonna lie. Well, lost my opportunity at that one. I wish you got a nice hook in them from that whopper plopper, but that did not seem to be the case. I'm gonna throw this little frog down this bank for a second though. Back to the whopper plopper. One of the things I like to do when I get to like a new pond, or just pretty much any pond that I'm gonna fish, is I'm gonna work the banks. I'm gonna work those edges really particularly, because a lot of these fish, especially in a little small pond like this, they like to hug something, and there's usually not a whole lot of structure or like contour in the pond itself. So what they'll do is they'll hug the banks a lot of the times, even when it's really hot or when it's really cold. But I mean, ooh, there we go. Oh yeah, on the whopper plopper. There we go, fish number 2. So I think I can safely say that this pond might just be the juice. I think that is a pretty fair statement to say so far. We've been here maybe 10 minutes, Never fished it before, as I've said multiple times, and I've already gotten like 3 bites, 2 really solid ones, and this is our 3rd one right here, our worst little bite yet. But this is still a solid little fish, a nice, probably like right at 2 pounds maybe, but that is a nice little bass. Let's keep it moving. Off she swims. That's nice, that is nice. So back to what I was talking about before I was rudely interrupted by that fish right there. So what I like to do is just kind of work the banks specifically first. I really try to fish them thoroughly. I feel like that's where I get most of my bites. I would say not my best bites. Well, I do get a lot of good bites there, but what I'm trying to say is I get my most bites up against the bank. And then after I've kind of like worked the bank thoroughly, I'll kind of like fan cast around in the middle, try a few different things. Sometimes I'll throw some jigs, sometimes I'll throw some worms, just some crankbaits. I don't really throw too many crankbaits in ponds just because they just get snagged so easily. You never know what's out there. And it's just really frustrating when you lose like a $5, $10 crankbait when you come out the fish, and then sometimes you don't even catch anything. All you do is lose money. So and I'm sure some of y'all can relate to that. Oh, that was another bite right there. This pond is so fire right now. What is going on? So a lot of times I'll stay away from crankbaits or anything with a treble hook that just kind of hugs the bottom, just because I don't like to lose it. I like throwing spinner baits a lot. That's something I've had a lot of luck with and I don't get snagged up too often. Topwater, obviously, topwater is my favorite for ponds. Can't get away with throwing it all year, but when you can, man, is it fun. There's gonna be a fish right here. Watch this. That surprises me right there. That surprises me. Oh, okay. I see you, tree. Every pond angler's worst enemy. I'm telling you guys, this is the best whopper plopper size for pond bass fishing. No questions asked. I forget the exact size of it, but it's a short, fat one. It's hard to miss. It definitely looks a little bit different than all the other ones. There's also another like shorter one, but it's not as fat. This short, fat one, there's something about it, man. Let me tell you, these fish freaking crush it. Even the big ones, with how small it is, they just absolutely smoke it. All right, now I'm kind of shook. No fish in this corner. I'm gonna grab the plopper and throw down this wall right here. That seems like a pretty good spot. Oh, there we go. No, I knew there had to be one in this corner. Dang, that was a good little one. I mean, not a monster, but a solid like 1.5 pounds. Oh, there we go, got him. I don't think that was the same fish. Definitely not the same fish as last time. I started reeling slow after he popped it right there because I didn't think he had it, but he sure enough did. He definitely had that thing in his mouth. As you can see, choked it. Left my pliers in my bag over there, so I'm gonna try to pop this thing out with my keys. There we go. Always can make use of little random things as tools when you need to. Thanks for biting, little bud. Shoo. Oh, okay. One thing I will say, every single fish I've caught so far in this pond has been very healthy. I'm very impressed so far. I mean, there's definitely very good potential from what I've seen so far for there to be some Goliaths in here. So that makes me really excited to fish this pond some more. I'm interested to see kind of how it all plays out. I got 2 more ponds to fish, so I'm definitely feeling like at least one of these I can probably stick a good one in. Taking a few casts out in the middle so far, not much luck yet. I'm definitely not counting it out, but I've made quite a few casts after working this like initial bank in this corner before I was gonna move up, and no luck. Time to move up the bank. Let's move up to the other end of this pond, see if we can't find some stuff down there. That was a good cast. Got that around the tree, hugging the bank a little bit tighter. Sometimes that just slightly more, oh, come back. Like I was saying, sometimes that just slightly more accurate cast will get a fish to bite. But sometimes you just need to get it just a little bit closer to them because bass are ambush predators and they're just waiting for something to come right across their face and just come up and blow up on them. I mean, they will chase things down, but that is their more natural instinct. Okay, gonna sneak up around this bend right where I just got that little blow up. gonna try throwing it in from back here. Don't want to walk up on the bank too close. See if there's anything hugging this thing tight. Oh, dang. Gosh. Took so many casts in this corner, and this one finally came up and got it pretty good right there. I wish he would have taken that all the way. It wasn't a very big one. Gonna go ahead and move on to pond number 2 up here. Fish the end of this one right here. Not much more luck right where I was hanging out around there. So I'm gonna keep on moving, keep on casting. I think our better ends of the ponds are gonna be these ends, because these are kind of like the dam ends. Kind of starts gradual, and these sides are a lot deeper, and the wind's been pushing this way in the morning, even though it's not pushing right now, but it's been pushing up against this bank, which is really what I want to see right now. So we're gonna stand off of this right here, because there very well could be a fish hanging out right here in this corner. I don't want to spook them. Looks like the coast is clear. Gonna move on up, cast parallel down to this bank right here. Oh, it's not as steep off this bank as I thought. Well, the bite has really slowed down on me now. Unfortunately, the topwater bite has just gone dormant. I came out here with intentions of filming a topwater video, and I was having a lot of success right when I got here, mostly probably due to the fact that the topwater conditions were a lot better this morning. We had a nice breeze that was pushing up against the bank right where I wanted it to on the deeper end of the pond, and there was a nice shade line, and all these fish were tucked up there right up against the bank, and I was popping them off left and right. But that is not the case anymore. It's been quite some time since I've gotten a bite. So this is normally when I would switch over to something a little bit slower, like a worm, a creature bait, a wacky rig, a jig, and start looking for some more finicky bass that just don't want to hit topwater. Really taking my time and fishing out in the middle a little bit more than I have been. Still fishing up against the bank, because there's probably still going to be a few fish tucked up against it. But unfortunately, I do not have any of that stuff with me. It is all the way back in my car, like a mile that way, and I really don't feel like walking all that way to go get it. So I'm just gonna stick it out with the topwater, because that was my original plan. Really want to catch some nice donks on the topwater today, so I'm gonna stick with that. But I'm probably gonna switch over to fishing the frog a little bit more heavily, just fishing a little bit slower. I might not get as many bites with that as I would on the whopper plopper. I don't know, it's really hard to tell, because I just don't know the size of the fish in this pond as a whole goes, because I've never fished it, and the frog just tends to be a little bit more of a big bass bait. The small fish will still hit it, but I find smaller fish hitting that whopper plopper more often. But if there is a big old Bertha hiding somewhere under here, a Bertha or Karen, one of those ladies, one of those big beautiful ladies, if there's one up underneath these trees and that frog comes over her head nice and slow, nice and tempting, I think we might be able to get a bite. And because I already know I'm gonna hear in the comment section, why aren't you fishing with braid? It's because I don't have a reel with braid on it right now. Unfortunately, my reel with braid has malfunctioned, and I didn't feel like taking off all this fluorocarbon, putting it on braid, all that. You don't always need the ideal setup to fish certain baits. So this fluorocarbon's gonna do for now. There isn't any heavy cover. I can still set the hook with the frog and get through their lips. It's not gonna work as well just because this fluorocarbon sinks a little bit, but it's gonna get the job done. Ooh. Oh no, that was a good one, guys. That was a good one. My drag slipped. My drag freaking slipped, and I even made sure to check it before I got out of the car. Ah, why did it get loose? Oh, hit it right away. Ah, should have brought a freaking worm. That's what I should have brought, so I could throw it in right behind those blow-ups. If you do that, guys, if you miss a blow-up and you throw in the soft plastic right behind it, there's a good chance that they might hit it. They're probably not gonna hit a topwater again, but there's a very good chance you might get them on a little wormy or something like that. There we go, ha ha ha, finally. Got herself another one. Just a tiny little pipsqueak. Big enough to munch that whopper plopper pretty good though. Got himself a mouthful of hooks. There goes one. Is it gonna come out for me? There it goes. Number two. Oh, he's trying to flop right out of my hands. Double digits for days. Them 10 ouncers never get old. Love catching me a nice double. Peace. Oh, he skirted. He's skirt. And that is all she wrote for today's episode of Fletcher the Fisherman. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I had a blast coming out, fishing some new waters, having some good success early on. Kind of slowed down. I didn't really bring anything because I wanted to stick to that top water. So it just happened to be that way. But I'm definitely going to go back out to that pond at some point for another video and do some more fishing there. It seems to be a pretty good little spot. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. But as always, bassing is a passion. Peace